Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Intuitive Garden Tarot. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nicole. I will be doing a general energy reading for Sagittarius for the second half of May. And if you would like a personal reading, you may book one with me at intuitivegardentarot.org. And we're using the Star Tarot deck today for your message. Boy, I'm having trouble communicating. Maybe you are. And that came up with some of the other fire signs as well. So let's see if communication is something coming through for you, Sagittarius. As I was saying, you may book a session with me if you would like a private one-on-one session that's very specific to your energy and your questions. I would love to read cards for you, and you may book a session with me at intuitivegardentarot.org. All right, let's dig in. We have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Seven of Cups, Ten of Cups. Okay, right off the bat, no major arcana and no wands. Communication is here in the past and in the near future. So looks like there has been some stress around something for you, Sagittarius. This could be really worrying you, causing you a lot of anxiety, going over and over and over and over and over and over something is how I'm hearing it. And that probably hasn't been fun. Two queens here. We have the Queen of Cups, very loving, nurturing energy. She's really focused on her feelings. And she is very loving and she wants love. She wants to share her love with someone. And this applies to both men and women. We all have this energy in us. Queen of Pentacles is playing off of the Queen of Cups. So she is very nurturing to herself and connected to nature and earth in particular. So much about being grounded with the trees in particular that's coming through. Maybe some of you are tree huggers or have been walking around among trees. Maybe you talk to the trees, but I feel like there's something right now coming through specifically about relating to the trees as beings, as souls that are looking over you and also interacting with you on some level. Let me know in the comments, Sagittarius, if any of this is resonating with you. But they both are so loving, and the interesting thing about the Queen of Pentacles is she knows how to manifest things by just allowing them to come to her. So maybe you're putting love out there. Maybe you're looking to attract love in some form or another, whether it's a relationship that's romantic or not. And at the heart of the reading, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is so much about duality to me in this deck. Highs and lows, light and dark, light and shadow, ups and downs. And somehow fusing synergistically a truth or some kind of balance in between all those ups and downs. So maybe manifesting and attracting love has been an up and down process for you. Maybe there have been some hits and misses. Maybe you're in a relationship or in a situation or a partnership or project that is bumpy. Sometimes it feels good, like it's working out, and other times you're bumping into some problems, yet it's still in some kind of steady state of flow. I'm feeling that that connection is still there, but it's up and down. And with the Five of Swords energy right underneath that, this looks like there's some pain involved, some conflict in your heart. Oh, maybe some of you are juggling two different relationships. And if I'm talking to somebody who might have two queens in their life, and perhaps there's a conflict in juggling that, or a stress of deciding who is the right one, or what situation or job or path is the right path to take. And maybe you or some of you have also been feeling juggled. Maybe some of you are learning or becoming aware that somebody hasn't been totally honest or truthful or monogamous with you, if that's what you thought you were in. There might be some heart wounds out there, and learning the truth that maybe there were other people in the mix, or one other person or one other woman in the mix, if it's gender specific in that way. And yeah, I can understand now why we have this Seven of Cups, with that separation between what it is we wish for, what would be fulfilling, and what is actually manifesting. There's a gap between there. And again, that gap is encompassing the darkness and the light, very much like this card does. And further clarified by the Ten of Cups, which is the happily ever after, the committed relationship, the family card, feeling totally fulfilled in love and like you've arrived at that destination. So, boy, I'm sorry to be bringing this message, and if this is true for some of you, it sounds like it's a painful energy, and there's a disconnect in there between like the upper chakras, the lower chakras, and again, you know, what it is that you wish for, dream about, or are trying to pull in, and what's actually happening. There's a break, there's a disconnect. And of course, you would very much like to attract that completion of happily ever after energy, is how I'm reading this. Okay, Sagittarius, I feel like we need to go to the Love and Relationship Oracle deck. Wow. We'll take those cards. They really want to speak. Exactly 3. Thank you. They're not always about love and relationship, but let's see what comes out. Commitment, marriage, promises, fidelity. Of course, that's the happily ever after energy here. Looks like very much relationship stuff is coming through strongly here. Again, it can be a different kind of commitment, but it seems like for a lot of you this is about romance. And then we have pride, arrogance, ego, stubborn, followed by spying, social network, information, ways. So again, maybe some of you in looking on social media or someone's phone, or a tarot reading like this, or maybe you read your own cards, trying to get information because it doesn't feel like it's always been forthright here, and perhaps you've learned of something that's painful, like that the commitment wasn't there, or they're committed to somebody else. And I want to know more about how pride fits in here, other than the obvious. This could be a person you're dealing with, if they're stuck in their ego. They're not necessarily embodying that divine union energy, more about what feels good for me. And I'm in charge of my life. I'm just, wow, hearing some very strong energy. If you've had some painful conversations or attempts to align things with someone, it might not be going very well. Let me get a little bit more advice on how to handle the pride. And this could be your pride. Maybe something in your pride or your stubbornness or arrogance is getting in the way of something. Maybe it's preventing you from manifesting the relationship that you really crave, or the situation or partnership or job that you're really craving. Because maybe you're aligned with it has to look a certain way or fit into my world in a certain way that makes me feel successful or good or proud. That's some of that energy coming through. Okay, we have luck, purification, and ritual. Okay, I'm seeing some recurring themes here for the fire signs. Who couldn't benefit from some luck? Lime. And I see Capricorn energy in here. Very ambitious. And that might be something connected to that pride, because Capricorn really wants to be seen as successful. So, okay. I'm hearing another layer, a different message. It might be difficult to let go of something that you've invested in and that felt so good and so right to you. Because it might look like you're backing down or admitting some kind of failure or mistake. With ritual, we have fire energy, Leo, incense, burning on an incense burner. So, and purification, I feel you're being invited to do some kind of purification ritual. Look at this bottle or vessel that is holding water, and the heavy stuff, the sediment, the dirt is settling down to the bottom so that you can have the clear water on top. And there is Gemini communication energy here, the air energy again. So really getting clear in your communication, first of all, to yourself. What is your truth? Second of all, to the universe, to your guides, to Creator, your angels, your higher self, in what it is that really matters to you and what it is that you are attracting. Also, if you're communicating with somebody in a way where you want to shoot daggers at them because you're very angry and hurt, take some time. As I understand, there's a lot of strong Mars energy for everyone to engage with right now in the astrology. So I'm hearing Pam Gregory say, take a breath. Just take a breath. You'll be glad you did later. And on the flip side, if you have been feeling like you have been so cut to shreds by somebody's words that really cut deep into your heart, that maybe you're struggling with, and on some level even agreeing with. This is inviting you to get really clear on somebody else's bull, somebody else's junk that they might have been throwing at you if you called them out on something. Because, you know, when somebody's pride and ego is feeling challenged or wounded, they might react really viciously, and you might need to do some cleansing of your heart space, of your energy field from that energy, or from some harsh communications that maybe you're replaying over and over again, you know. And that's not going to help you, because you're going to stay in that cycle and you're going to just attract more of that, of course. And this is where you want to be, right? With the Ten of Cups. So I encourage you to, in whatever way feels right to you, to be quiet and connect with that higher self, with your guidance. And that comes, you know, in whatever way you do that, whether it's through prayer, meditation, stones and crystals, consulting, booking a tarot reading with me at intuitivegardentarot.org. That's another way you could tap into that. I feel like I need something else for you, because I'm just talking about, like, what do you have to look forward to? Let's look at it that way for you, Sagittarius. So as you purify, as you get real clear in your communication and in your truth with yourself, where will your energy go from there? Okay. Influences, lusting, second chance. So definitely third parties. This again is suggesting that somebody might be dealing with an infidelity. This can also be being influenced by others' opinions, all getting up in your business, getting in your head. It can be somebody else telling you you're worthless, you don't deserve more, something very harsh or horrible like that, that isn't true. So it's just reiterating that as you move from that and from lusting, which is kind of more of the superficial, just really wanting something really badly and in a rash way, not necessarily a slow, meaningful progression. Okay, so it says forbidden, non-committal sexual energy. So second chance. And this may be with somebody, if you're really invested in this partnership, that may have been stressful or unfaithful. But as you get really clear of your truth, it says reconciliation, making amends, and opportunity. So if it's not with a relationship or a job or a situation, definitely you will be healing yourself. I see that as the making amends part, putting yourself back together, reconciling who you are and knowing your value and your truth. And in doing so, the universe is going to give you a second chance at attracting this happily ever after. And I want to add in too the lusting and pride. Maybe you've been following a pattern, or in this case, attracted to somebody in a very physical way that was just so compelling, that you couldn't see beyond that intoxication. It was so like a drug, you know. But there's a disconnect sometimes between the physical or just the animal nature that we might connect with somebody, and then there's that deeper level of wanting a divine union, wanting something more meaningful and more fulfilling than just a physical relationship. It's wanting the whole kit and caboodle. So that might be, again, something to get clear on and sit with that for a while. But I like that. You will have an opportunity to try again in one way or another. So with that, I wish you well, Sagittarius. Thank you for watching to the end. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.